What does max mean? I think this is a very popular question throughout the gym, whether you've been here for a while or you're brand new. I think having a little bit of clarity as to what this means you see this all the time in all kinds of workouts all over the place, whether it's lifting or aerobic stuff. Just having a better education or knowledge as to what exactly I'm asking you guys to do here. So I wanted to clean that up a little bit, and I gave you guys some examples on this slide right here. So I'm going to try to make this again as quick as possible. So incline press. It is a primary movement. It's a movement you guys will see for forever or have been doing for years. And there's a scenario where the incline press is quite easy to associate with your 1 rep max of your flat bench chest press. So a lot of times you'll see incline press with a percentage attached to it, depending on where it falls in the workout. But there are scenarios where it's better suited to put at max here, given how exhausted or pre-exhausted, maybe the amount of volume we've already done, the amount of lifting we've already performed. Where asking you to use a certain percentage gets really dicey because it is group fitness, and I want this to be as close to one-on-one programming as possible. But if certain scenarios, if I write a percentage to it, I know that it's going to be a catastrophic failure. So there are places and times where, based off of what we've already done or what we're about to do, that I need to write something more open-ended and give you the autonomy to choose the weight that's appropriate for you. Now, I know that's not what everybody wants, and I know a lot of people want to be told what to do, but it won't work that way in our setting. So I had to kind of develop and create and kind of think outside of the box of how we can figure out how to do this on a consistent basis. And as long as you guys are educated on what this is, and hopefully you learn something from this video, you can start making better decisions, more informed decisions on your weights or your output. So incline press is a good example because, again, like I said, it is often associated with a percentage, but there are times where it just makes more sense to put max. So if you see max, that means you are going to use as much weight as you think that you on an individual level can handle given the circumstances. So given the circumstances being your time of recovery, how many reps do you have to do, based off of what you've done in the past, you're making an informed decision based off of all of that. Now, when you see max on something like a lateral raise, which is a secondary movement or a supplementary movement, you would never base your lateral raise weight off of a percentage. So your 1 rep max shoulder press, like, you can't take that and correlate it to your lateral raise, at least not precisely. So you'll never see that, and you'll always see max, which means you are, based off of, again, your individual ability and given the circumstances, going to choose the heaviest weight for you. So again, having reference points and things written down and tracked is going to help you make an informed decision on what weight to choose for your lateral raise. Now, something like this AMRAP at the bottom, 8 minutes, 30-second bike at max, and these are kind of I put right here, max, sprint, and 60%. So those are the 3 kind of setups you see very, very, very frequently. And I just wrote bike. It could be any aerobic piece of equipment. But sprint is 100%. Like, there is no, like, it is as hard as you can physically go, again, on an individual level, for whatever the time says. Now, I'm not going to say never, but 30-second sprint is just not really something that I feel fondly of. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because it definitely does in maybe some weird scenarios. But 60%, you see that all the time. You might hear us say 60%, 70%, 80% output. Now you're basing that off of your ability to pace yourself and what you're capable of. Percentages are correlated to RPMs on the bike. Percentages are correlated to split times on the ski erg and the rower, and to speed on the treadmill. Sprinting is just go. And then max kind of blurs the lines a little bit. Max is allowing you the opportunity to do whatever you want. But mainly what I'm saying is, when I write this, 30-second bike, just to use this example, at max would be like, hey, it's 8 minutes, it's a 30-second bike, you have to do 10 step overs when you're done. There is no time of recovery listed. I want you to go as hard as you physically can go with being able to accomplish everything around it and sustain that output for however long I'm asking you to sustain it. So here you have 8 minutes. So you're going to be like, all right, it's 8 minutes. Realistically, if I bike at 80 RPMs and do 10 bodyweight step overs, it's going to take me 40 seconds. That means I'm going to get through like 8 rounds. Like, okay, I can't sustain 80 RPMs for that long. So I'm going to calm it down. So that's what max is you're kind of deciding how aggressive can I go to get the most out of this. It also leaves you the opportunity to live and learn. Like, it gives you the guys a chance to just like, hey, I'm going to try 80 and just see what happens. You'll realize 3 minutes in, can't do that. Red flag. I'm going to take a mental note. 80, I am not conditioned enough to do 80, right? And then you're just going to go that way. So max, again, just opens up the door to a lot of opportunities, gives us some wiggle room and flexibility to make decisions as a group, but still on an individual level, unlike, again, when you always tie percentages to it. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense as to what max is. There are other scenarios where I do use max, quote unquote, but these are like the main ones. You got a big lift up top where you're usually used to percentages. You have supplementary lifts where we're not ever going to have a percentage, right? So it's going to say max. And then you've got kind of these open-ended AMRAPs, Metcons, EMOMs, where I'm kind of giving you the opportunity and the autonomy to choose how aggressive you really want to make it, how intense you want to make it. Maybe you want to get as much out of it as physically possible, or maybe you just want to trial a couple of rounds and see how you hold up. This is an opportunity. You could do it at the bottom. Maybe I want to try 90 RPMs. Like, I know I ain't going to make it 8 minutes, but like, hey, how many rounds could I do at 90, right? That's what max is. So hopefully this brings some clarity and light to you, and you guys have a better understanding, and you can start kind of, when you see this on the monitor, because it's always there, make more informed decisions for your workout.